The hummingbirds, they're so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna try to channel this and be calm, but it's a very triggering dream for me, and it has to do with my biological um, father. And I've let go of it a lot, like over the last couple months, and I didn't really fully blog this in words. Like I didn't really fully get into it in writing or on video. So I think this is the area of most need in order to bring it all up to date. But oh, is that a hummingbird? I just really want to get like a little video of a hummingbird. Got so many pink flowers, and I knew they would love them. It's been here like 3 times now. The siren scared it. Okay, so let me channel this for a moment. So across from me is this big field with bleachers. It's a fairground that used to have rodeos, and it's like still it has its original like furniture. I guess you could say what do you say, outdoor furniture, like bleachers. Right across from me is a fence, and on the other side of that fence there's like one of those baseball like house boxes that I guess they would keep track of what was going on, like talk to the referee, I don't know. But it's a beautiful space. Bleachers have all these like plants growing in them, and the crows love it over there. They do like little dances and have dirt baths and stuff like that. And this is where the stream took place, was right across my driveway outside my balcony, on the other side of their old fence. And just on the other side of the house I was dreaming about, on this side of the fence, is my, in real life, my, like there's a little garden there, like crow garden. I have this big ceramic pot and like an angel, and like, you know, there's a bird bath kind of like in the shade, and it's a very special sacred area. But that wasn't there in my dream. It was just the house and the fence. And I post on my blog, I have a short that's like, I think it's a video, but it's like, it is a short video. It's just not a short. It's like landscape. And it's AI, which I don't use very often, but I thought it was like really important to try and express like how I feel in this dream. And you know, the house and what it looked like was really important, and it did a really good job. I was really impressed with Canva. I have to like undo my pants. That sounds really bad. Like I can't breathe right now. Um anyways, okay, so that's just something I've always done. I have really like sensitive stomach issues sometimes when I have anxiety, and yeah, I'm in my house, nobody's here, you're not here, like it's anyways. Okay, no judgment please. So yeah, I feel like it's so different than having to take your bra off. Okay, so I'm in this house, and my biological father is in the kitchen, and if I'm over there in the house, I'm looking out the hallway out the door, and I'm on the left back side in this room. It's like 2 bedrooms on this side, a kitchen, and a dining room and living room on that side, and then a bathroom in the middle. Very typical, like, layout. And also, as far as like military housing goes, it was a very small house, like military houses here. And I wanted to get out of the house, but I couldn't. And there was like bugs everywhere on these blankets. And like every time that I tried to get out, it's like I could feel this electricity around the house, on the inside of the house, propel me away from the wall. Like I would get, you know, high enough to get out the window. Because I was pretty weak, so I was like crawling, and as soon as I got as high as the window and like started to lift myself, the electricity would push me down, and I would slide down this wall in my dream body, just kind of like Salvador Dali painting. And then, you know, I'd kind of like get upset, like I'd feel myself get like upset, but then I would like hold it in and be strong. And then I found under these blankets, I found this like 80s car phone, like the kind that you would see in like Clueless, or many 80s movies. It was like gray, this big honking thing. And I started trying to talk to my mom's best friend on it. My mom is no longer with me, otherwise I would have probably tried to call her, and I don't know why I didn't, because she's probably in a dream right now and available. But I was talking to my mom's best friend and I was telling her, like, I really want to get out of here. Like, I don't like it here. You know, like it's like so gross here and I don't like it. And um she just supported me, like just walked me through it, you know, was like, just leave then, right? And I'm like, well, I can't. Like I keep on like, you know, getting pushed back in, and I would like sneak out to the hallway and like look at Bio Dad, and he'd be on his phone, like, which is appropriate for today. Because like when I was younger, he would just be too busy all the time. That's how I remember him. And finally, I said on the phone, I was like, I'm gonna go to Fitzroy and like travel through a dream portal. And this is in Australia, the land of dreams. And I mean, the whole world is the land of dreams, but the story behind Australia is my mom introduced me to this show called Offspring, and like it was just brand new and it was on Netflix, like new on Netflix, and I fell in love with it just as much as she did. And I went to where Offspring was filmed in Fitzroy with my girls about 4 years later after I obsessively watched it. And we did a lot of like projects there for homeschooling on like dreams and like sacred art, and I just like I have a very special love for this town. It's like an old gold mining town, and the houses are very small. And so I was like making, you know, a connection there and a correlation. And so I went through this big corridor in my dream, like dreaming inside my dream, dreaming my way out of this house, only to be coming back again because I was needing to come back to my dream, to come back to reality. So I didn't want to go like too far, right? And um, I think I really wanted to take my power back and, you know, remove this person, remove this part of myself. Like, I didn't want around anymore, you know, this like part of me that's like always kept quiet about this kind of stuff. You know, never spoke unless spoken to, and never felt like invited, never felt like, you know, honored. And so as I'm walking through this like university path that's surrounded by these beautiful old winding trees that were like, you know, that I don't know if it could be a real place, but like it was a mix of the different places that I'd been in Australia, like in Melbourne, all these museums and beautiful places. And all these students were like supporting me and saying like, yeah, awesome, like, you know, we support you, and like rooting for me, and you know, sending me I like had this newer phone now too. Like I was like gifted this phone, and they were like sending me texts being like, you got this, like go girl. I think even my mom messaged me, you know, and Jost was like, yeah, keep going, keep going. um it was like I was like birthing myself or something through this like channel, you know. And so I got to the end of this path, and I could see the house and I could see the hallway, and um I had my phone, and I had some like really strong strength. Like I could really feel my body and like I felt so blessed. I felt very mature, very sophisticated. The color navy blue is really significant. The colors in like really beautiful trees. And this property, there was this massive meadow, like just like the meadow across the street, but like so behind this house was like just forever gold wheat. I don't know, like gold grass or wheat or something, like so fertile and so like warm. Like it was so warm, like Australia. And I kind of just like drifted back to this house with confidence that I wasn't gonna like get stuck again. And I don't know how I got into the house, but I just kind of scaled the house and I could see him, but I completely bypassed him and went to the hallway and, proudly was like, and even in the series Offspring, their last name is Proudman. So I was like acting kind of like a Proudman. Like I was like, do what I want, like make my own decisions, my autonomy. Like, I don't care how many problems I have. Like I'm going to walk the walk and talk the talk and, you're not going to stop me. This is like my standard, right? And if you don't like it, then get out of my dream. But, in all honesty, I have a very open heart and like I would have had a conversation. It's not something that ever has happened in reality. So why would it happen in my dream, right? I guess to like maybe fill that void, but I wasn't interested in having that void felt. Like the door had closed on that person a long time ago and that was my choice. And so I walked through the hallway with my phone and like I don't know, the clothes I was wearing, I guess, and like had some stuff in my pocket, probably some change or something like that. I mean, that's all you really need in a dream, right? And I could see this car, and the door was already open, and I was walking through the door, and I could see the fence, and there was a door, like a gate in the fence, a little archway with like weed vines kind of growing around this archway. Very overgrown, like in the front of the house. Totally like not in the back of the house, but in the front of the house, it was like very overgrown, which is basically how I've always felt in this family. Like I've always felt like, you know, inside I'm very open and inside I'm very like clean and fresh and like, just wide open, like let's have a festival. But on the surface, I'm like, you know, letting everything just go. Like it's, these are old feelings, old growth, right? Like old stuff. It's never been maintained. It's never been like a part of me that I feel has been, like I said, honored or like appreciated, right? It's just been kind of neglected. And I've come to realize that I just don't have any energy anymore to give to it. I'm 40 years old, 45 years old. And I was 40 years old when I closed this door and this chapter of my life. So, I was walking through it and maybe reliving a little bit of it, but I was growing and, you know, coming out of this like inner child space that I felt stuck. And I saw this car. It was like an 80s car, but it was like from my home. And it was exciting for me to like feel that, I had sent a card for myself to go home in, like, and to go home. And I could see like the colors, the shades, the hues of this, of like the mist in my, like where I'm from is like very mystical and very like the realm of it is like very visual, like when you're looking at like on a cloudy day where I'm from, it's like you can see every tiny little atom, or every little bit of like mist or rain or moisture or humidity. It's like almost like a big lens, like you almost feel like macrocosmic in this climate, like from where I'm from. And, there's no pollution and things get transmuted like very quickly and like there's no fear, like there's nothing to fear, it's safe. And at first I felt like I could just get in the car and just go, right, just go get in the car and drive and just be home. Like it was that real, and I was like, yay, I'm going home and like I'll see my mom and you know but then I started to panic because I like thought that he was coming out to stop me, right? Like, oh, don't go, right? And it's funny because that's one of the things that I always wished for whenever I had relationships with unavailable guys. I would like get, my senses together and leave. And then I would, wonder, are they going to come running after me like they do in the movies? But in this context, it was more like he was, saying to his whoever on the phone, I gotta go, like Naomi's leaving. And I started to panic. But then he actually just came out and just said goodbye. Like, he was just like, nice to see you, right? Just like he used to, as if nothing had happened the whole time that I visited and everything was fine. So I went with it because I was like, yeah, like, I don't want you to try and change now. Like, I don't care. That door is closed. There is no changing. That's not an opportunity anymore. It like came and went a long time ago. And so I stopped panicking, and then my phone had this like extra device in it that plugged into like where you plug your charger. And there was this kind of like it was like a blue light that was coming through, sort of like a what you would put your card into at like an ATM, but it was like this short. And I don't know why it was there. But the phone was changing, like all these different things were changing about the phone, and this voice that was like kind of like my voice, but it was somebody else from home saying like, Naomi, you're gonna come home, like don't worry, and like don't panic, take a deep breath, like look around you. And I did all these exercises. I like refreshed my eyes and like, you know, felt the space between my lips and like turned my brain off, like turned my hearing off, to stop like focusing and hyper focusing on all the noise around me, and just like focused on the moment that I was in, and just appreciated that I was like merging essentially with this reality. Like my map from my home was merging with this reality, like not just my dream reality, but like this actual reality and like where I am right now. And I don't know how I left home and came here, like I don't remember that part. Um, I'm just doing a lot of past life regression now on it so that I can like write. And this was, I think, an unexpected kind of message for me. So if that resonates with you, if that's something that you try to do, dream work might be for you. And so I'm sitting in the car and I notice these nuts that are like round. They're like pistachios, but the shell isn't cracked. It's like a whole ball of pistachio. And I started putting them in my mouth and chewing on them. And I don't remember what happens. I need to go to the post for a moment to see what happens. I don't know if I talk about it and I'm too impatient. I somehow was eating these like weird pistachios that this lady was like, what are you eating? And I was like, I'm eating these like crow pistachio medicine nuts or something. And she was like, good, good. She's like, just, like take it in. And then they turned into something, and I can't remember what they turned into. I'm gonna see if I can find it on my phone. But I started spitting them out. I was like, like that's gross. um, May, April. See if I can find it. Song. Because it was the one before that. Hi. So I had a dream. Everything was fine. And then lived in this house and it was like older. It was like, okay. And my biological father showed up out of the blue. And he was extremely aggressive and very invasive. This is where I need to be. No, it can't be here. Like, it's too public. You know, I gotta get somewhere. Like, so I went home and I was sitting. And so I, backed up and came back here. But I just, and she felt bad for me, right? And I was like eating something while I was talking to her. I was trying to eat something. There was like these museums and like at first before I parked, there was like these museums and like different places that I was like, yeah, I just, and she felt, yeah, place, this little niche in the forest. Like it wasn't my house, but it was like a spot, right? And I'm eating like, I don't know what I was eating, nuts or something, like throat medicine, I don't know. And there was earwigs in them. Earwigs were in them, right? So like when I was in the car, um, there's people coming to do windows, so I'll talk about this after. I don't even know where I was, but I have a screen in my window now, so I can open my window and like get fresh air. I couldn't before because there was like 60 zillion mosquitoes from across the field coming into the room. Okay, it was so nice to be home in that moment. Oh yeah, the pistachios, the crow medicine. So it was weird that I said that it was crow medicine because like I woke up a couple days later and there was a crow in the backyard that was like had moved on from this world. And there was a murder as well today of crows that came to the field. So it's really interesting, all these like timings that have been going on in my life. I think that's how my memory worked as well for a really long time before I started this dream blog and writing and sharing to kind of document it in like a new fashion. I would remember things through sequencing and through layers and embedding into my memory, like through visualization of my memory and of my home. So it was a very strong connection, a very like powerful visit and merge. Like this merge was like very mergy. It's like very emerge-y-ish. Emergency merge. But let me see how it ended on my phone. Sometimes you remember things differently. Like planet free from this kind of stuff, right? That was the whole reason that I came here. There's a lot of heavy stuff around it. They know what they're doing. And some peanuts on the balcony. My little bird just came to say hello. So cute. Did you hear it? It was so adorable. That was really cute. Girls have some bird houses that we're gonna paint. And I really feel like we have a strong community here. Like beautiful creatures and neighbors and spirits right now. So yeah, she could see inside the phone, and I must have just like passed out inside my dream or something like that. And then they just took me back here. But anyways, I'll talk about this when I finish dropping this off. Bye. Some peanuts on the top of my taco Josie, obviously. So I, backed up and came to the station where I come. Got really heavy and intense at the last part because of how panicked I was. I just remember kind of seeing myself like from underneath, kind of like where my feet were, in the car. Like I remember like kind of looking up and kind of crawling into my body before I was waking up. And it's like we all have a relationship with ourselves, right? And some of us have a really good relationship with ourselves and it's really strong and there's good communication and it's healthy. And at times I think everyone struggles with their relationship with themselves. I know as an adult, I have just have zero tolerance now for people who, um, can't show up and meet you halfway and, hold their end of the bargain and carry their own weight. And, I really want to protect my planet, my home, my home world, which is it's feeling really close right now for some reason after doing all this dream work. I feel like it's really helping me to feel less homesick. And it's feeling really good for my relationship with myself as well. And, um, finding dream guides can be a challenge. And obviously, this person that was helping me through the phone could see very little of what was happening here. And, but it's good to start somewhere. And if all they can do is talk to me through a phone and kind of see, little tiny bits of my phone, that's better than nothing, right? But yeah, it was definitely a milestone, a landmark dream. I call it like a, very significant, pivotal moment where I feel, it's always going to remain that way. And it's just the beginning of finding my home, going home, finding a way home. I'm going home. Okay. I love you guys. If this dream resonated with you, let me know. If you need some information on dream guides, need help calling them, let me know if you want me to make a video about that separately. But this is going to be in my playlist. No kids allowed. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to this. And I hope you like my blog and find something there for yourself. And happy almost summer solstice, wherever you are, or winter solstice if you're in Australia. Okay. Namaste.